Okay, so this is hilarious. I just saw this white lady on here complaining that she just lost her job because she was hired under the diversity, equity, and inclusion program at her work. And you can see she didn't want to say it, but she really wanted to be like, but I'm not black. But that's not what diversity, equity, inclusion meant. The number one recipient of DEI hires is white women.
Facts.
The number one people who have benefited the most from this whole affirmative action and DEI hired has been white women, 100%. And now all these white women who voted for Donald Trump are going to find out that DEI included them. And I'm sorry, but this is one of the best fuck around and find out moments yet, because these women are the ones who deserve to be fired. I'm sorry, like, if you voted for Donald Trump and you get fired because you were a DEI hire, don't come looking to me for
absolutely nothing that MAGA folks won't blame on people of color. Not because folks of color are actually to blame for any of those things, but because it's all MAGA knows. If you're out of work, must be because an immigrant of color or a black person took your job. If your taxes are too high, it must be because of welfare payments going to those people. Never mind the contradiction of saying that they take all the jobs, but also take none of the jobs because they're too busy relying on welfare rather than working. It can't be both, guys. You got to pick a lane, right? Kid didn't get into the college you wanted? Well, must be because a person of color got preferential treatment and stole their slot, even though the Supreme Court has essentially ended race-based affirmative action. You can't afford a home? Well, it must be because immigrants are taking all the homes and driving up the cost. Forget for a minute that they're also the ones building most of the homes, thereby driving down the cost, but, you know, whatever. Scared of crime? Well, it must be because black and brown folks and migrants are making the cities unsafe. Forget for a minute that crime has actually dropped, even as immigration has gone up, and immigrants have lower crime rates than American citizens, but, you know, whatever. When the pandemic hit, oh yeah, that was the fault of Asians, people of color, and their open air markets. When a door flew off a plane a couple years ago, Elon blamed it on a DEI program for pilots. And when a barge brought down a bridge in Baltimore, the right blamed it on the DEI mayor, which is just their new word for the N-word. To MAGA, white folks are never to blame for anything. Black and brown folks are to blame for everything. Why? Because MAGA is a racist cult.
I be trying to tell
If your answer for every problem in America is people of color, you're a racist by definition. If your answer is Jews, you're a Nazi. And in either case, you deserve to be crushed utterly and without pity or mercy.
How my black brothers and sisters are in Montgomery, Alabama, taken to the streets, marching in Alabama as our great-grandparents did in the name of Black Votes Matter. And I haven't seen a single news outlet or article talking about what my people are out there standing for and currently doing. Hundreds of buses of black people at that took to Montgomery, Alabama at 12 o'clock this afternoon, putting feet on pavement to protest the redistricting that is eliminating black seats from the Senate as we speak, right before midterms, and everyone's quiet because there's no watermelons or rainbows involved. Even though y'all talk about how we were resting and digesting, now's the time to get the fuck up, and my people are doing it, and everyone's silent as a
Elder, that should be in the midst. Yes, Lord. More than 2 or 3 here, Lord. You said with 2 as a toucher, that you would give us whatever we ask for is more than 2 touching here, Lord. Yes, Lord.
And this isn't a little protest. Thousands are expected to rally and march today in Selma, Montgomery. And guess what? There's nothing being said about it, but this is to defend black political representation. We're witnessing people in the House of Tennessee, black Democrats, who were walked out of their positions and told they can no longer participate in the committee because they stood up for our rights, and our people are out there fighting, and no one's saying anything.
Boy, we stepping back in time, bro. Look at this shit. In 2026, man.
So are being dragged out of their rightful places in the government. You're sitting on your couch saying we're lazy.
There is something so tragic about white America that if we could just do this one thing, I think the rest of our problems would disappear. Because our issue before racism, before white supremacy, is that we don't listen. We don't listen to people of color. We don't listen to their stories. We don't listen to their lived experiences. Because if we did, we would never have believed a word that came out of Donald Trump's mouth. Because we would have known that he was lying all along. At the root of white supremacy is pride. We don't need to listen. You can't teach me anything. But you know what comes before the fall? Pride comes before the fall. And we're about to find out what happens when you shut out the prophetic voice and you don't listen or pay attention to the warning signs. They told us that Trump didn't care about us and our cost of living. They told us that he only cares about himself. But we didn't listen, and now we're finding out the hard way.
They're saying about the whole don't shame MAGA back to the far right. Like, all of these people are waking up and we need to welcome them with open arms, because we don't want the left to ostracize them so that they feel like all they have is the right. And then we just like repeat the cycles and we push them further and further away. I hear what you're saying. And it does make sense logically. Like, oh, we should resist the urge to say, I told you so. Oh, we shouldn't shame them for not knowing any better. We need to all come together now, because it's not right versus left. It's up versus down and all that kumbaya bullshit. Okay. I get it. I am not one of those people.
I'm telling you.
Because two things can be true at the same time. We can applaud the return of the prodigal son while also holding that ass to the fire. After the Civil War ended, Northern white people and the government in general didn't stand on business hard enough. And that's why we have MAGA today. Let's be clear about that. All of those fucking Confederates that should have been executed the day they decided to become traitors against the United States of America, the day they decided to lay down their lives and give their last breath in defense of slavery, they all should have been, I don't know if you can see my hand. Let me do it again. You know what I'm saying? They all should have got a musket to the face. And because they didn't, because we took it easy on them, because we chose to prioritize their humanity while they ravaged other people's humanity, that Confederate mindset, that delusional, completely detached from reality, hateful, violent, traitorous, animalistic mindset has been allowed to seep through the annals of American history like the virus that it is. And now what we have today is a large portion of the population that is still fully accepting of sicknesses, sicknesses to humanity, cancerous beliefs that eat away at not only their humanity, not only do these people's beliefs corrode their own soul, they corrupt the soul of others and the collective soul of humanity. Because let's be clear about what the fuck these people have done over centuries. They have weaponized that holy book that they call a Bible and beat people over the heads with it until their brains were bashed in. Like, to be clear, racism is the reason why we don't have universal health care. Hatred against women is the reason why we don't have affordable daycare or federally mandated paid maternity, paternity, and leave or parental leave. To be clear, these people's hateful, divisive, corrosive cancerous values and belief systems are the reasons why America is severely lacking in all of the tools and resources that make those fucking Europeans, those smelly as no AC having Europeans, have a better quality of life than we do. I don't know why Europeans just caught strays. I'm just mad. And it's okay to be mad, is what I'm trying to say. I fully understand that there are a lot of people in this world that are born into darkness. It's as simple as that. I was born into the light. Can't relate. There are a lot of people in this world. When I say darkness, I mean darkness on all levels. And that doesn't necessarily indicate abuse, because darkness can mean darkness of the intellect, ignorance, darkness of the spirit, spiritual confusion. People who are spiritually confused believe that the Christian thing to do is send Mexicans and Guatemalans and other Latinos to Alligator Alcatraz and to bomb Gaza. Because in their spiritual confusion, they believe that they're the good guys in all of this. In their spiritual confusion, they have no media literacy. They can't see straight. And they think that Superman is coming for them now. They think that the movie Superman is coming for them now.
And they think Donald Trump is Superman. Stupid ass.
I understand how soul deep, how DNA deep this shit goes, and that people don't have a choice what they are born into, but they do have a choice of who they become as an adult. I do not buy into all of that. Oh, well, they were raised this way, so they don't know any better. Fuck all that. Fuck all that. We were all raised in certain ways that we have deep and undone in adulthood. What I'm not about to do, and what I do not encourage you to do, is coddle these. Ooh.
Oh, she mad, boy. She been through some things.
I'm trying to figure out a way to say it that doesn't get this video taken down and doesn't come across as bullying the less intelligent among us. Because I'm really, actually not that nice of a person. But I'm trying to be, because the algorithm likes niceness. So let's think about this before I speak. These people, most of them, have dedicated their lives to making the rest of us uncomfortable. To trying to strip away people's rights, to excluding people who look different from them, or worship different from them, or dress different from them, or believe different from them, from what they perceive as the light and the love. Their entire belief system is based on exclusion and righteous vengeance, righteous anger, righteous grievance, righteous everything, because they put the name of Jesus in everything. Those blasphemous motherfuckers. Their entire raison d'etre is making people they don't like uncomfortable. They voted for Trump to own the libs. They talk about Trump at family dinner when you've begged them not to make you uncomfortable. What I am not about to do, and what I do not encourage anybody to do, is to spare them the discomfort of their choices, or try to save them from the mental and emotional fallout that is the consequences of their actions. Don't take that away from them. That is not yours to take. Their discomfort, this cognitive dissonance that is now starting to send all these people spiraling into, is everything I believed a lie? Yes. Everything you believed is a lie. Yeah, you fucked up big time. You fucked up big time. Do not save them from the discomfort and the earth-shattering ego death that causes. It is not our fucking job to keep coddling white people. That's what I'm trying to say. They don't need to be coddled. They need a kick in the ass. And God damn it, I gotta give it to them. Because for better or for worse, Trump was the only one that was going to be able to give them the kick in the ass they need to make sure that this doesn't happen again. All of this Confederate-rooted hatred, greed, and bigotry and shit, stomp it out.
So for a very long time, white people, and especially Trump supporters, have been waiting for black people to come out and do the pity party, cry about the economic situation in America currently. You know, these white people always keep expecting black people to be the ones that are on the, you know, the sad part of life, yeah. So things have become hard. It's not like they are not hard for black people, and the only reason why they're not seeing black people on the streets is the fact that they keep ignoring that black people have been living that kind of life for a very long time, you know. It's just more recently that they are coming out to talk about, you know, their own welfare. They are the ones that are actually benefit from these welfares, you know, lots of food stamps. You know, if you check how much they're given compared to what black people are given, you get your answers there. Now, these are the same people that talk about blacks being, you know, very lazy, blacks being reliant on welfare, and the whole time they now realize that white people are actually the ones that are the majority on the welfare. They are the beneficiaries of welfare. And recently, I did a video that made us aware that 76% of white people are on welfare. 76% of white people, the white population in America, relies on welfare. Now, that is contrary to what they keep spreading around as, you know, false news that black people are the ones that rely on government help and they are not hardworking, they are very lazy, you know, they do not want to work for their money. Now, all these things are coming out at the same time, and it's just a shame to be a white person, and especially if you're the kind of person that talks ill about black people like that. These people, all their dirty linen is being washed in public, and now everyone is getting to realize that everything they said about black people is actually not true. You know, they keep lying about black people. Anything bad about their society, anything bad that happens in America, they put it on black people, they plant it on black people, and black people, you know, they have tried to talk about it, they have tried to explain themselves, they have tried to, you know, try to stand up for themselves for a very long time. Now they got to a point where they just chose silence. They chose that they're not going to talk, you know. You say whatever you want to say about them, do whatever you want to do, but they're not coming out to the streets to cry. They're not going to make videos and spread them all over the internet, crying and talking about the hard financial situation in America, the hard economic times. They're not going to do that. They're not joining in anything to fight, for example, President Trump. You know, like for example, recently white people have been asking black people to join them in the fight against Trump and the economic times that are in America right now. They wanted black people to come out of their houses, to come and join the crowds on the streets, to cry, to make videos, to demonstrate, so that President Trump can do something about the economy at the moment. You know, the fuel prices are just hiking and hiking every other time. Food prices have become something else. People are barely affording groceries. People are, you know, they're just being it's they're just living in disillusionment because whatever they were promised is not what is happening right now. Everything that Trump said he would do, he's not doing it. He actually meant he will do it for his billionaire friends, his family, and himself. And that is the information, the most important information that he hid from the people. And they ended up voting for him, despite the fact that black people talked about these things. Black people talked about, you know, this guy lies, you know, how are you getting the nerve to even believe what he says, you know? He's saying that he's going to make America great again. Now look how great is America right now. That slogan does not mean anything. The guy can lie. He's been lying for a very long time. Black people talked to white people and told them, you know, we need to be very vigilant about these things. We need to be very careful when making this decision because it's a decision that is going to affect us for not a month, not two, not a year or two. And people did not listen, you know, they believed in what they believed, and they thought that when Trump gets into power, he's going to make the lives of black people miserable, and especially that is what white people love, most white people, not all. So they were happy about it, you know. They knew that he's a racist, and of course he was going to make black people suffer for whatever reason. And that was okay for them. Now, when black people are talking about let's not do this to ourselves, they actually thought that black people were saying that for themselves because they were defending themselves. They were trying to make sure that they have a better environment, a conducive environment for them to exist. But in reality, black people were watching out for everyone else. They were watching out for themselves. They were watching out for white people. They were watching out for immigrants and every other race that is present in America. But these people, these white people especially, they thought that black people were the ones who were going to receive the bad side of things, and they were comfortable with that, so they chose to just go ahead and vote him in so that they would be there to eyewitness black people suffering. That is what gives them joy. That is what they love to see. And now that things are taking a different turn, things are becoming ugly, and they barely expected something like that, that Trump does not even care about them. He doesn't care about anyone. If you're not a billionaire, he doesn't give two shits about you. If you're not his closest friend, he does not care about you. If you're not him and you're also not his family, then it's going to be very sad for you, because he doesn't give a damn about you and how you exist and whatever life you're leading and what is happening in your life. He doesn't just care. So white people are coming to that realization that he's not going to favor them. He's not going to be there for them to make sure that they are okay. He's not even listening to their cry right now. They have been making a lot of videos complaining about the economic times, the economic depression. Things are hard. Things are becoming ugly every single day. Look at the prices of fuel. We're talking about almost a 50% up, and he does not care. He's not listening. He's not even saying anything about it. He's behaving as if he's not seeing these videos, as if he's not aware of the things that are happening in America. And even when he tries to address it, it's like not coming from a place of I will do anything about it. It's just you know uh, a rude awakening to white people that nobody really cares about you. And next time when you're going to vote, you need to be very serious about who you're voting in. You need to have good reasons for voting someone in. You're not going to vote someone in just because they are white or just because they are black. You have to have solid reasons, good reasons why you prefer that candidate. And if you do not have a good reason, then just vote for someone else. As long as they have a good track record, they have a good manifesto, and everything that they want to see happen to America in the near future is something that you really also want. If they're sharing in your dream, in your ambition, then you can vote them in. But white people did, this is just them disgracing themselves because they chose this man only because he's white, and let the other candidates be because some of them are black, and some of them are just not appealing enough. So they chose this particular one that is in power right now, so that he can torture and make the lives of black people miserable. Unfortunately for them, we talk about karma. Unfortunately for them, whatever they wanted for black people is happening to them as well. And it's just even better that black people were not expecting anything. Once he won, black people, they made peace with that. They knew that their lives are going to be miserable, and they made sure that they are prepared, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. They were okay. So all these things that are happening right now, it's not like they are getting them as a shock. Then they are okay. And also put in mind that they have gone through a lot of things, slavery, being looked down upon, all those things by white people, and even the economy. If you're looking at the structure of how the American system works, it works in the focal point, the main point about the American design and how it's made. It's to make sure that it is demeaning black people, and it's against black people by all means. Yeah. So everything is designed against black people, and they have been living in that for a very long time to be scared of what is happening right now. Black people have been prepared for way too long, and they're not scared. That's why you're not seeing videos of them. You're not seeing them complaining. Yeah, times are hard for them as well, but they were ready for that. They expected it. And that's why they were talking to you about not voting for this guy, but you went ahead and voted for him. Guys, enough talk for now. If you have anything to say, leave it in the comment section. If you're watching me for the first time, my name is Furaha, And kindly subscribe to my channel, watch my playlist. If you like that kind of content, consider being part of this amazing family. Returning subscribers, thank you so much for always choosing to be here. We are growing together and I really love you. I hope that you're keeping safe. I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.